them safe from injury and harm, instill in them a respect for each other and a reward for their perseverance. Lead us all to the rewards of your kingdom, where you live and reign forever and ever. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you, Jen. Please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem, performed tonight by KMC or Laurel Robinson.
When the ball's down here and they're playing offense down here, you just kind of keep it right about right there, right? And then you just kind of follow the ball going down here, and you just kind of keep it right there. Got it?
First up for the visitors from Bishop Carroll. First up on the ball, 6-foot shooting for the First up for KMC is on the ball. For junior number 2, Tilly Jones. Next for the visitors. 5'8" junior guard number 3, Ellie Phillips. Next up for the Crusaders. 5'4" senior guard number 5, Sophia Chamino. For the visitors from Carroll. Next is 5'7" junior guard number 5, Landon Forbes. For Carmel. Next is the 5'9" junior forward number 12, Lizzie Roller. For the Gold Eagles, 5'7" sophomore guard number 14, Yankee. For KMC, next up is a 5'8" sophomore forward number 13, Annie Spears. Now we got the starting five for the Gold Eagles of Bishop Carroll. 5'8" junior guard number 22, Megan Stevens. And rounding out your starting lineup for Carroll, 5'6" freshman guard number 24, McCoy Pfister. The officials will be mentioning Rose Stuckey, Andy Little, and Trevor Meyer. We thank you, Trevor, for your contributions to our sport of high school basketball.
Hello and welcome to Cape Mount Carmel, home of your Crusaders, who tonight will be in the Holy War at Cape Mount Carmel. And so we'll see how the girls play tonight here as Carroll comes into this matchup 15-1, and Cape comes in fresh off their 10th win of the season at 10-6. And so Andrew, Carroll, obviously one of the powerhouses in the state so far this year in 5A. How do you think the Cape Mount Carmel girls will match up against them?
Well, this will be one of their most difficult matchups of the season, and if they can weather through this and make it even a tight game, they don't even have to win to get that morale boost and that show that they can hang with even the best teams. And so I'm really looking for this to be a great night tonight.
And so we can get right into the starting lineups here.
Number 1 for Carroll, Colin Tran, or Leah Littlejohn. Sorry. Number 3, Elysian McPhillips. Number 5, Landon Forbes. Number 14, Leah Hankey. And number 22, Bryn Steven, excuse me.
They're all good. And, Carroll playing a very methodical offense here to start things out. Really is trying to open things up, and now shoot a three-point shot here. And Andrew, I think that's what we're going to see a lot of tonight. Is it looks like Landon Forbes able to get the rebound and gives Carroll a second opportunity. And it's a loose ball on the floor now inside the paint. And now Sophia Jamino able to jump on it, and eventually a jump ball called between Jamino and McKillips. And it looks like Kapaun will get possession here. But Andrew, I think we're going to see a lot of three-point shots here from Carroll here tonight. They're the best three-point shooting team in the state so far this year. And now a quick steal by Hankey. And now Hankey able to knock that one through and gives Carroll the early lead after an empty opening possession. And see what Kapaun can do. They face a hard press here, and as you know, Andrew, the press is not something that Kapaun likes to see out of the gates. And you can already see it's a very hard thing to go up against. And it's really hard to get into your rhythm and really settle in when you're facing pressure like that. But it looks like Jamino able to gather herself and get her teammates into the right position to open things up on offense.
Yeah, all season long they have struggled against the press early. It gets them out of their rhythm, and it forces them to play on the defensive and score a ton of points from behind. So let's see if they can not let that happen here.
And after the missed three-point shot, we're actually going to head over to the Kapaun starting lineups for this evening, as number 2, Tilly Jones, is on the ball right now. Now, you see rushing up there, McCoy Fisher, 24, and looks like Jamino, number 5, on defense there. And rounding out the lineup is number 13, Maddie Spears, number 12, Lizzie Romer. After a three-point shot made there by Carroll, they take an early 5-point lead. And now Kapaun looking to get their first basket of the game. As Pfister has in the corner, she takes the baseline, kicks it out to Jones. Jones doesn't like the shot and takes it back out. There's now a nice inside feed to Romer from Pfister. Gets Kapaun their first points of the evening.
And you'll see KMC getting it around, getting good passes to set up those plays for their playmakers. Romer, Jamino, and Pfister all night long.
Now we see Hankey dish it over to McKillips. And McKillips finds some space. Thinks twice about the shot and kicks it back to Hankey. Now inside to Littlejohn. Now Littlejohn gets fouled. And it looks like Maddie Spears is going to pick up her first. And now, looks like Phoebe Wofford checks into the game for the Crusaders. Always a good source of offense and a pretty strong presence on defense for the Lady Crusaders. Now Hankey rims out a 3, and now Romer kicks up to Spears to bring it up. As Kapaun's so down by 3, looking to get some points on the board. And Andrew, when they're in these situations, not saying this is too dire of a situation, we're obviously pretty early in the game, but when Kapaun's looking for points, who are they going to look to most often?
Well, they're going to look right to Lizzie Romer, Sophia Jamino, and McCoy Pfister. All season long, they have been their outlets for scoring. And once they're given the opportunity to score, they will go off. Earlier this season, Lizzie Romer and Sophia Jamino combined for 42 points. And on Tuesday night, Lizzie Romer had a game, 20-plus points, and just showing what she can do in the G-Wall.
And now Hankey for 3. That's no good. And Hankey's typically pretty lethal from three-point range, so interesting to see her start out cold from 3. But regardless, I still think she's going to be a major offensive threat. She's already got 5 points in the game, all 5 for Carroll so far in the contest. And nice, tough-fought rebound, but now ball loosened. Maddie Spears able to convert on the left-handed layup and brings it within 1 now.
Great job at KMC hustling after that ball, not letting that possession go wasted.
And now Forbes tries to find McKillips on the inside, but that's going to be out of bounds. And it will be Carroll ball. And now Carroll, inbound play, gets a nice look for Rebecca Hangman, who knocks down the mid-range jumper. Now facing the press, Jamino in trouble, gets up to Romer. Back to Jamino. Now up to Pfister to get it past half court, but now another trap forces it back to Jamino. And just a really great defensive set here for Carroll, but great job by Phoebe Walker to penetrate and get the layup. But we're seeing a pretty solid defense here from Carroll so far. Impressive offense from Kapaun, but still great defense nonetheless. And now Forbes with a nice up and under.
And Carroll's continuing to find a way to hold their lead. Just finding ways to score and get in the paint and create good shots.
And now out of bounds, they'll head the other direction. Looks like Pfister was the one who made the miscue there. But Andrew, I think a big thing to talk about here is going to be the battle of the number 5s. As Sophia Jamino leads her team here tonight, just the same as Landon Forbes on Carroll leads hers. And so what are you seeing from both players so far?
Well, they're a great presence on the court. They just command their offense, showing the younger players how to where to go and gaining that experience. And they have a great IQ for basketball.
Exactly right. And now Carroll back on offense, looking to extend their lead back to 5. Previously their largest lead of the game. And still we see Carroll playing a pretty slow, methodical style of offense here. Just passing around and looking for the best opportunity to penetrate or an open three-point shot. And there's one there, but that's going to be missed long. And jump ball going to be called. I believe this would be in favor of Carroll. And now Emily Jacobs and Myra Nichols check in for Kapaun as Littlejohn makes her return for Carroll. But Emily Jacobs is someone I want to zone in on. Is Tuesday night she had a tremendous game against East. Really great defensively and offensively for that matter. But really her defensive presence really set her above the rest last time out. And, after a foul there from Littlejohn, we came ball, but I think she's, along with McCoy Pfister, one of the biggest bright spots for Kapaun's underclassmen. And really excited to see how she develops later on.
Yeah, she represents a great future for KMC women's basketball. And she's just an unsung hero on this team.
Great source of both offense and defense off the bench, as we previously said. And now Forbes. A nice three-point shot extends the Carroll lead to 6. And now Nichols gets it to Jacobs. Now Kapaun slowing things down. And we talked about how Romer and Jamino pretty good sources of offense, but McCoy Pfister, a freshman in the starting lineup, is there for good reason. She's a great offensive playmaker. And after the miscue there from Nichols, Carroll in the open court as Forbes going to make the and one shot, and it looks like Jacobs a little confused there, but it looks like she might have got there a little too early or a little too late, depending on how you look at it. Regardless, it looks like Forbes will be shooting the first free throws of the night, or first free throw of the night, I should say. As now Jamino and Spears re-enter the game. As Jones, as Wofford and Pfister take a seat on the bench. And so, Andrew, Myra Nichols, definitely a storyline this past week. Definitely a great source of defense for Kapaun last year, and a great up-and-coming player. Of course, suffered the ACL injury. She hasn't played up until this point in the season. But what does she bring to the team?
Well, she's just a great source of leadership on the defensive end, and she just shows that her experience is great. She's showing those younger defensive players on KMC is where to be and how to play the game.
Exactly right. And now Littlejohn looks around and finds Hangman for 3, and she's able to hit it. And you really start to see the three-point game come into effect. We talked about it early on in the game, but Carroll really showing the fact that they are the best three-point shooting team in Kansas right now. As Romer able to knock it down to 3 of her own and cuts the lead back down to single digits. And so Kapaun looking to keep that as it is as we enter the second quarter. And now with 13, actually 10, less than 10 seconds, we will see Carroll have their last possession of the quarter, and now a missed three gives Kapaun a chance to do something as Nichols tries to get up to Jacobs, but time will expire before the shot gets off. And so Kapaun will head into the second quarter down by 9, score 18-9. And so, Andrew, what did you see in that first quarter?
Yeah, one thing I will say is that KMC is not playing a bad game. They're just outshined by Carroll on the offensive end. Carroll's finding their open players, and they're hitting them. Those three-pointers count, and they're making KMC pay from the three-point line. And KMC just needs to work on slowing the game down and avoiding that pressure and finding their open teammates for those big buckets.
So I think really the biggest thing here for Kapaun is walking things up on the defensive end. Carroll is doing a great job of being patient and waiting for their shot to come to them rather than trying to force hard shots. But regardless, it's all going to come down to who wants it more. You hear that used as a cliche rather often, but Kapaun's in this thing, and they have the talent to come back in this game. They have the talent to compete in this game, and so is Carroll. And Carroll obviously showing a more dominating performance in the first quarter. But regardless of that, Kapaun has the assets to come back in this game. They have the assets to win this game, and so it's going to come down to what effort they're willing to put in. So I'm excited to see what happens with remaining time. As Spears is going to start things out for Kapaun, as she hands it off to Jamino, and now Kapaun slowing things down for themselves. We might have seen some not rush shots, but maybe not the best shot selection from Kapaun. Still had some great looks on the inside, and I think that's really what they're going to want to attack the most. They haven't been to the free throw line yet, and I think the best thing for them to get back in this game is to drive the basket as much as possible, try to draw some fouls and get to the charity stripe as much as possible.
Yeah, KMC is great when they can find themselves at the line. They need to put some pressure on Carroll in the foul area and just get to the basket, force anything, or force Carroll to foul, and just get some points on the board.
And after the near turnover, Jamino able to gather herself, takes the baseline, and kicks it back out to Jacobs. Jacobs, nice find for Pfister. And Pfister puts up a shot from the mid-range. That's no good, off the back iron, and rebounded there by Forbes. Now a nice shot from Littlejohn. Extends the Carroll lead back to 11. And now looks like Jones going to lose it out of bounds. As Wizzy Romer checks in for Tilly Jones.
And with Carroll being up 11, KMC is looking to keep this game close. They're looking to limit Carroll on the offensive end and try to score as many buckets as possible before letting this thing get too out of hand.
Now Hankey, that's good. And Hankey already with 8 points in the first half, and she joins Landon Forbes, who also has 8 points. And now Romer unable to gather that pass, and that heads out of bounds as well. It's another turnover for Kapaun. That's 8 turnovers for Kapaun. And Andrew, after this timeout, or looks like I'm stumbling on my words a little bit there, but regardless, the timeout necessary here is 8 turnovers for Kapaun in the first half. Never something you want to see. What's something they can do to limit that?
Well, one thing is just to hold on to that ball, don't force any passes, but still make those good passes and get it around. And that's just a tough area where I think that they have worked on all year long. And I believe that they are a great passing team, and they just need to show that tonight. They haven't made great passes and getting those turnover, and that's where they're struggling.
Exactly right. And as we're the final seconds of the timeout, Graf sends his girls back out onto the court. And now Forbes gonna bring it up for Carroll. Now Steven. He's out to Forbes. Forbes. Takes the hanky. Now to Little John. And Carroll is swinging around. Now Stevens takes her shot. That's no good. And now Pfister gets it to Spears.
Great job. Oh, and great job at Pfister being aggressive there to grab that board.
Yeah, exactly right. And now Jamino able to get her first basket of the night. But Carroll still definitely in the driver's seat on this one. Or in this one, I should say. Regardless, Kapaun's got to do something here fast if they want to stay in this game. Now foul going to be called. Looks like this one's going to be on McKillips. And that'll be her first personal foul. Team foul number 2 for Carroll.
See what KMC can do right here. They need some points desperately. And let's see how they can avoid the press and try to work through it.
Now Jamino able to grab that one. Gets back to Spears. And still, you know, as you just mentioned with the press, it's putting a lot of pressure on Kapaun, especially in the open court, to show off their ball handling skills. Not to say that they're lacking in that, but tonight turnovers have been a big issue for Kapaun. So attacking those ball handling skills is definitely something that Carroll's going to want to do here in the rest of this contest. Now another steal by Jamino. This has actually been gathered by Carroll and heading their way. Now Forbes kicks it back out. That's Hangman. Hangman no good on the shot. And now Little John picks up another foul. That's her second. Team foul number 3. As now Tilly Jones enters the game for Sophia Jamino. And it looks like Little John exits the game for Carroll as Lily Martin, number 4, re-enters the game for the Eagles.
And one thing KMC is doing really well is they're being aggressive and trying to grab that ball. It's just the bad passes that have made them get behind this far.
Now Pfister gets up to Romer and still facing this press. And Andrew, I'm most impressed by is the fact that Carroll is able to apply as much pressure as they do off baskets in just such a timely fashion. You know, it's not like Kapaun's taking a lot of time after these baskets to collect themselves. It's usually a pretty quick switch from the basket being made to the inbound pass. So it's just impressive how quickly Carroll's been able to get back. And now another great play from Carroll is Forbes able to knock down the three-point shot. And the lead now extended to 16 points. Sadie Sanders, who just entered the game, kicks it up to Lawfer. Lawfer is hacked from behind. And it looks like that'll be a foul called on Megan Simon. It'll be her first personal foul. Team foul number 4 for Carroll. Now Lawfer shooting the first free throws for Kapaun. I think this is something that Kapaun's going to definitely want to target more. It's just driving to the basket as much as possible and trying to get to the line as much as possible.
Yeah, they really thrive at the free throw line. When they can get there, it's a successful night.
And now Lawfer goes 1 for 2 and heads to the bench as now it looks like Jacobs checks back in for the Crusaders. Now Simon, top of the key, gets to the Forbes. Forbes inside to Hangman. Hagman going to be fouled on her way up, so she will head to the line for 2 shots. It'll be Jamino's first personal foul, team foul number 3. And now Hagman able to knock down her first shot. Capen's second shot, no good, and rebounded by nobody as it heads out of bounds off Carroll hands. So it'll be Capen possession. And Carroll already set in their press. And Capen able to defuse it a little bit easier this time.
Carroll has done a great job of organizing their defense. They have players that know exactly where to be and at what time to be there.
And now Spears unable to get that one to go. And rebounded by Martin. Martin gets it up to Hankey. Hankey loses it out of bounds, and it will be Capen ball.
And Capen just glad to have that ball back. They really need some scoring to go on here if they want to keep this game close.
Now Pfister gets to Jamino. Jamino up to Sanders, excuse me. And now Jacob's going to call for the travel.
And another silly mistake by KMC, just giving the ball to Carroll without, just for free.
And now Stevens gets it over to McKillips. McKillips over to Hankey, who knocks down the three-point shot. And now Carroll knocking on the door of a 20-point lead, up by 19, as Capen looks to respond. Now Jamino puts up a three-point shot. That is good.
And that was a much-needed KMC bucket right there. Jamino coming through for her team, providing a life-saving three-pointer.
Now just over 2 minutes left to go in the first half. That's definitely something they're going to need to start doing. Even if it's not the most confident shot they have, you're going to have to start taking them. As, we talked about how their shot selection was not the best in the first quarter. Right now, I just feel like there's too many empty possessions where Capen is not getting off any shot.
Yeah, they just really can't get anything going at the moment.
And so I think the biggest thing is just getting shots up, hopefully solid shots, but shots above all else. As I think everyone knows, you can't score points unless you shoot the basketball. So definitely going to be priority number one for the Lady Crusaders. As now Stevens has it on the wing for Carroll. Kicks it out to Hankey. And Hankey out to Forbes. You see a lot of motion in Carroll's offense, but not as much motion off the ball. What do you think that provides for them, Andrew?
Well, they're able to move around and force that KMC defense to always be on their feet, not knowing where to go next.
And now, after a second chance opportunity, it looks like Forbes going to line up for three. That is good. And that extends the Carroll lead to 21 points.
And Capen could just not hold on to the ball. They need to relax and hold on to that ball and get past half court.
Now Sanders with her first basket of the evening. And now it looks like Forbes loses it. Kicks to Hankey. Hankey back to Forbes. Now inside pass to McKillips. Back out to Hankey. And Capen's defense looking a little bit more solid here. And I figured some things out. We'll see. That's a nice defensive effort there on the baseline. Forces a bad shot, and now a rebound by Pfister leads Jamino on the other end. And Jamino takes a hard hit.
That did not sound good, even from up here.
I don't think Jamino's going to tough it out and go to the free throw line.
And one thing that Jamino can do well is take a hit. She's able to get right back up and shoot these free throws.
And here's Jamino, basket good. She leads her team with 6 points on the evening. And her second attempt good as well.
And one thing KMC needs to succeed tonight is for Jamino and Romer and Pfister to play well. When those three are not on their game, KMC will struggle, and that's what we're seeing here tonight. None of them are really playing to the level that they have all year, and that's in part because of the Carroll defense. They're really shutting those key players down and forcing KMC to go to other girls tonight.
Now foul on the floor called as McCoy Pfister picks up her first personal. Team foul number 4 for KMC. So now with 11.3 seconds remaining, see what Carroll can do. As now Forbes winds up from 3. That is no good and out of bounds. And so now we'll see Kapaun with 6 seconds to play with here. Potentially able to get up a shot. However, it's going to be a little hard as they first have to beat the Carroll press. Now Romer puts up a heave, and that's no good. Rebounded by Little John, and that will end the half. And score 36-19 as Kapaun heads into the locker room down by 17 points. And so join us in about 15 minutes for the second half of action. Hello and welcome back to Kapaun Mount Carmel as we enter the second half of action of the girls basketball game in the Holy War Series. And Andrew, give me a quick synopsis as we enter the second half with Carroll up 17 points in what seems to be a blowout.
Well, on the offensive side of the ball, KMC cannot get much done. They have been able to move the ball a little bit, but whenever they try to make good passes or force the ball, it gets picked off and Carroll goes the other way, scoring those big three-pointers and those points. Carroll has been great, phenomenal even, from the three-point line. They are finding space and they are creating those big shots, and that's why they're up by 17 right now.
There's a great defensive play by Maddie Spears, and she is then picked off. And Andrew, Kapaun with 12 turnovers in the first half. That's their 13th already. What does that tell you about the way they've been playing?
They don't seem to care with the ball. They're careless and they're just forcing things. They're not relaxing and making calm passes like they have all season long, and that's the key to their success.
And now Romer with it. Takes a step beyond half court. That's a kiss of death. And yeah, Andrew, I gotta say that's something that is a death trap. I mean, because when you're behind half court, you can still dribble backwards and do whatever you want. The second you step over that line, there's no going back, and especially when she takes that little tiny step over. I get the mentality, you're worried about those 10 seconds, but man, that's a hard situation to get out of. As now Forbes gets Carroll their first basket of the second half.
And Carroll's trap tonight has been excellent. They are making sure that KMC doesn't feel any space. They're putting the pressure on them early and often. They're getting right back onto defense after they get that offensive bucket.
And Forbes with a nice find of McKillop, and then McKillop is forced to pass back out to, looks like Henke, and now over to Little John. Little John, mid-range shot, that's no good. And now Jones with the rebound. And so I think the biggest story of the first half, Andrew, was the fact that Carroll was so lethal from three-point range. I mean, 6 for 16. That's almost 2/3 of their points coming from beyond the arc.
Yeah, 18 points right there out of the 38. Wow, that is big. When you're hot from the three-point line, that makes all the difference in a game.
And so now Spears gets it to Pfister. Pfister takes it all the way out and then kicks it out. Or kicks it all the way down. Regardless, it'll be a turnover for Kapaun. And now Carroll with a chance to extend their lead to 20 on this possession.
When you're down by 19, that doesn't seem like a pass that's just a good idea to make. I would be focusing on making those controlled, just get it to your teammate. Instead, Pfister tried getting over to Romer quickly, and it went the other way.
Now Forbes lines up for three, and that is good as well. Forbes continuing her insane night with now 18 points. And Andrew, I mean, she is leading her team with 18, but Henke not far behind her with 15 of her own. It's just really an offensive explosion for Carroll so far in this game.
Those are the two girls that KMC really needs to focus on for the rest of the game. They need to limit their touches on the ball and focus on that three-point shot. Carroll has been able to just shoot that all night long. KMC needs to put some pressure out there.
Now after the missed free throw, looks like Carroll with some substitutions as Simon Martin and Henke, Simon Martin and Hayden. And after another missed free throw, I should say, Carroll heading their way with it. And now, after a loose ball, it gets back to Martin. And Andrew, what are you thinking about Kapaun's defensive mindset in the second half so far versus in the first half?
Well, they're still being left on their feet, flat-footed, and Carroll's just been able to move all around them. But I've seen a little bit of a increase in just the defensive presence. Carroll hasn't really had as much of a runaway with the three-point ball thus far, but we'll see how that progresses and if Carroll adapts.
And after the first one missed, now Hagman able to knock down the second. Now Nichols in trouble, stolen again by Forbes. Forbes unable to grow on the way up, but now looks like Hankey able to get the putback to go. And now another turnover by Cape as Forbes dumps off to Hankey. Hankey loses it out of bounds, and it will be Cape in possession. But still, another miscue there by the Crusaders.
KMC just got very, very lucky right there. That could have... Carroll had multiple chances to score right there, but KMC continued to get that ball back. And luckily, they have the possession still.
And now another timeout taken by Cape, and they'll have 2 remaining. And Carroll yet to use one of theirs. And Andrew, things looking rather bleak for the Lady Crusaders. But regardless, I mean, they still have a shot. They need to definitely get something going on offense if they hope to stay in this thing.
Yeah, down by 25. Really, anything would make this would make the damage less. They just need to put points on the board. Anything, just anything. Get in the paint and maybe get to the free throw line where they thrive. They're shooting 75% tonight. And just get there and get some buckets.
And now, looks like Cape sending their same squad out there. And get right back into the action after the timeout. Now a new face for Carroll as number 11, Eliza Duncan. Or Dugan, excuse me. And now Hagman going to pick up her first personal foul as Pfister, McCoy Pfister that is, is going to head to the line for 2 shots. First one good. And now the second one good as well.
KMC 5 for 6 tonight from the free throw line. Not a bad performance, and that's where they tend to get some points, being aggressive in the paint. Let's see if they can continue to do that tonight.
Now Dugan picked off by Pfister. Pfister takes it coast to coast and able to knock down the transition layup.
Pfister taking the ball in their own hands, getting some points for KMC. Great job by the freshman.
Now Martin loses it out of bounds, and now the KMC ball. And all of a sudden, Andrew, KMC picking up some steam. And situation still pretty bleak, but you never want to count a team out before the final buzzer sounds.
Still down by 19, but they're finding a way to score some points, and they're on a roll. Let's see how they continue here.
Now ball going to be tipped off the hand of Hagman. Now Hagman guards the inbounder as he gets into Romer. Now Romer to Nichols. Nichols looks around and tries to dribble to the basket, but is fouled. And it looks like Dugan going to pick up her first personal. The team foul number 3 for Carroll. And this time the inbound goes to Pfister, who is picked off. And now foul going to be called as Dugan heads to the rim, and now Pfister picks up her second personal foul. Team foul number 2.
And Carroll put on the press right there on that inbound. And Jamino really didn't know who to throw that one to, and it was just unfortunate that it got picked off right there.
And now Dugan able to knock down her first. Emily Jacobs and Sophia Jamino return to the contest. And now Pfister gets up to Jamino. Jamino back to Pfister, who slows things down, sizes up the defense. Surveys and now gets it to Wofford. Wofford surveys, finds Jacobs. And now Pfister takes to the rack, and that has a kind roll and gives Kapaun 2 points and brings it back within 20. Now Martin kicks it back out to Dugan, and now John back to Forbes. Forbes pulls up from mid-range, well contested by Pfister. However, the rebound ends up back into the hands of Forbes. Now Forbes gets to Littlejohn from the paint. That is good.
Just another tough possession for KMC on the defensive end.
And now Jamino, top of the key. But now it looks like Wofford hits the floor hard. The officials take a timeout.
And Gabe Wofford was just returning from an injury earlier this year against West. I think it was a concussion earlier, and as you saw there, she hit the floor hard. So let's just hope it's nothing that serious.
Looks like she's able to walk it off. And she will head to the bench, get checked out.
And I think this was our first game back, actually. And that's just a tough loss for KMC to lose her this early.
And now here we go. Back onto the court as McKillips and Hankey re-enter the game from Carroll. And now Jacobs back to Jamino. Jamino looks around and surveys, but doesn't find very much. Still a great defensive set from Carroll. As now Sanders tries her luck. That's no good. Jamino with the rebound puts that one back up. That's no good as well. And now Sanders puts that one back up and gets that one. Excuse me, that one's no good, but gets her own rebound. And now Pfister, a loose ball. And now hitting her away, that's Hankey. Hankey against Jacobs. Hankey unable to hit that one. And now Jamino has it. Jamino has it going their way. Takes it coast to coast, puts up a shot, and that is no good. But a blocking foul call, so she will head to the line for 2 shots. And a fast pace of action there on those 2 possessions, Andrew. What are your thoughts?
Well, that was back and forth. The ball was on the ground and Carroll was on it. Great job of them getting down the court, and great job on KMC getting down the court with them, getting a good stop. And then Jamino leading her team down and at the free throw line.
Now Jamino. That is no good as well. And Jamino, typically a very solid free throw shooter, unable to knock those down.
She's shooting 50% tonight from the free throw line, and she normally hits all those.
And now Littlejohn gets a steal. And now on the other end, that's Forbes. Forbes transitional layup. That is good. Gives her 20 on the evening. And Forbes, even though they're up big, she is still showing as much effort as she can. As another turnover by Kapaun gives Carroll back the ball. Now Forbes, top of the key, going up against Pfister. Slows things down. And just Carroll really, as you said earlier, just in the driver's seat of this one. There's not much they could do wrong here tonight. As even they're potential turnover, they're able to get that one back inbounds. And into the hands of Forbes. Forbes, baseline, kicks it back out. And just tremendous passing by Carroll here, as Hankey unable to get that three-pointer to fall, but still just, textbook offense there from Carroll.
Yeah, they're moving the ball great. And up by 24 points. They're playing very comfortable, not really rushing anything, not forcing anything. They're in that driver's seat, like you said.
So now, just under 10 seconds left to go in the third quarter, as Forbes has it on the other end for Carroll. Forbes drives, kicks out to McKillips. And McKillips unable to get that one to go. And now Kapaun will have it with 0.5 seconds on the clock. And now Jamino. Yeah, Jamino not going to get it there. Now Kapaun will head into the final quarter down by 24 points. And not the ideal situation.
It's a little disappointing so far. I would have thought KMC would have been on their A game. But not to discredit Carroll's defense, playing out of their minds, forcing KMC to make silly passes and being loose with the ball. Carroll is playing like a 15-1 team tonight.
And Andrew, obviously not what Kapaun was hoping for so far here this evening, but still, I feel like a learning experience. I mean, Carroll, obviously one of the top teams in the state right now, and definitely a contender for the state title. So it's good for Kapaun to see this level of competition. I can remind you that when Kapaun went to play at Carroll, the game was a lot closer than this, and so, I hate to use the term wake-up call, but Kapaun's definitely going to have to play this level of competition in the playoffs that are just around the corner, and so it's good for them to get this level of experience, and hopefully learn from it and potentially improve from it.
Yeah, it will also show the future KMC teams what is needed to win a state championship if Carroll goes on to do that. It takes a lot, and this Carroll team definitely has the players to do it.
Now Forbes drives, kicks out to Stevens, now into the corner, now back to Forbes. And Andrew, we keep emphasizing this, but there's great passing, both passing and passing vision from Carroll. Just the ability these girls have just to see the court and just to run their offense with as much effort and just excellence as they do. I'm honestly left speechless, just how well they run it and just how efficiently they do things.
Yeah, they know exactly where they're supposed to be and where they're supposed to get that ball.
And so now we see Jamino on the other end with it. And here we go.
Almost poked away by Forbes right there. Tough pass by Jamino. She was able to get that to Pfister, but that almost led to disaster.
And now, after the missed shot, Carroll back with it. Now into the game for Carroll is number 12, Lainey Winfrey.
And Gabe, if KMC can find a way to make this game even like 10 points closer, I will be surprised. They are just not playing with much emphasis, and this is not the quality of basketball that I am used to seeing from this team. And it's a little disappointing that they came into this game and they chose to play like that.
You're exactly right. Like I said earlier, this is definitely a learning experience for Kapaun Carmel, and we're going to get a lot of good film from this game. And, definitely just a lot of tools and assets that they'll be able to use heading into the playoffs. But it hurts. It hurts to have this happen to you, especially at home. But there's always tomorrow, and there's always the next game. And so, really excited to see how this team rebounds from this. There's still game time left. I mean, there's still opportunities to earn in tonight's game. I mean, this isn't something they have to do, next week or in preparation for the playoffs. They can earn and make adjustments here tonight.
Yeah, there's still just under 6 minutes left in this game, and that is plenty of time to try some new things out and see. Well, they definitely know what's not working, but see what works and continue with that.
Exactly right, and I think Sanders there picks up a personal foul. And now another three-point shot, good, this time from Hagman. And Pfister gets it over to Nicholas. And Andrew, I'm really trying to find more of a bright side to this situation, but regardless of how Kapaun views it, I mean, this is just a massive victory here for Carroll. I mean, able to walk into their rivals' court and just dominate. They did a great job here tonight. And even as an East Sider myself, I have to give them props for the outstanding performance they've shown here tonight.
Yeah, they've controlled all night long, not giving KMC any wiggle room and space to get even close. I think the closest it was 1 point, and that was at the very beginning. But that soon became 5, 7, 10, 24. It's a lot. It's a little disappointing. It's very disappointing.
And after 2 missed threes there, Carroll will have the ball. And Winfrey kicks it back over, and just another great showing of passing here by Carroll as that leads to an open three-pointer. Now Winfrey with the rebound. This is Stevens, and Stevens unable to knock that one down as well.
Okay, one pro about tonight is the KMC journalism. These, the camera crew tonight providing the game for you, just doing a great job. And I just want to give a big shout out to them. They're the ones who make it possible for you to watch this game at home. So thank you to them.
Exactly right. And humongous thank you to Mr. Will Hebert. None of this would be possible without him. The expertise he provides. Back to the basketball. Looks like both teams kind of mutually just trying to run out the clock here, just trying to just execute their roles as the best they can. And again, I keep mentioning this, but this is a learning experience for both sides. Kapaun's still a solid team to go up against, and so Carroll with the opportunity to just kind of see how different things work and able to test out different offensive sets, different defensive sets. As now Hagman knocks out another three-point shot.
And Gabe, one thing that's a little surprising is that the starting lineup is still in for KMC. I don't know what I would be doing as draft, but I don't know if I would be keeping in my starters right now. Maybe put in the less experienced players, get them some experience against a great team and a rival.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from, Andrew, but I do have to not tell you, but I do have to say, actually now we see some of those younger players, but I do like the move by draft. As we keep re-emphasizing it, this is a learning experience, and so KMC is going to have to go up against some of these teams that are really tough and have really talented players, and so for those players, they garner that experience. I mean, you talk about you use the term inexperience. for Kapaun to lose like this, that shows that there is some level of inexperience there. They're not obviously not like they don't know what they're doing, but there needs to be that initiative to just kind of accept that you need to get out there and you need to get experience against teams like this. And so I see why Graf left them in. But now Carroll broke that 30-point mark, and so it'll be a running clock. And so now I see why you see the younger players come in now. But still, tough pill to swallow for Kapaun. Nice move there by Kais. We get the seal, but now it looks like another turnover for Kapaun. But no, a timeout going to be, actually not timeout, right? Out of bounds. Going to be ruled here by the ref.
Difficult pass right there that looked a little forced, maybe not needed.
And now Shuckman and Sartain going to check in for Carroll. As we are just under 1:15 left to go in the contest. And now Millicent kicks over to Kemp. Kemp for three. That is good.
That was exciting. We haven't had that in a while. Big point scoring.
And now substitution going to be made by Carroll as Winfrey checks in. Now that is Dugan who knocks that one down from three.
Carroll answers with a three-pointer of their own.
Now Millicent. And looks like this will be potentially the final possession of the game for Kapaun. And we'll see what they can do. Trying to end this game on a high note.
20 seconds left. See what they can do. Hopefully they can score, like you were saying.
And Hawker unable to convert on that shot. Now under 10 seconds off the play. It looks like Carroll. No, they will not. They will take a shot here. No good, nevertheless, but still interesting to see that in. Dribble that one out, but regardless, final score here going to be 61-32. And definitely a disappointing night here for Kapaun, but season definitely not over. And night is not over as well. As you can join us in about 10 to 15 minutes for the boys' side of action.
Very exciting game.
Very excited game as the 15-1 Crusaders will face off against the 9-7 Golden Eagles. And so again, join us about 10-15 minutes as I've been Gabriel Bryanbach.
And I'm Andrew Greer.
And have a great night, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, host for this Varsity basketball game, featuring the president, Mr. Carroll, Joel Michaels. Against the Kapaun Crusaders. Coach Steve, this assistant coach is Carl Steve. Those in the camps, these goes to you for supporting physical athletics. A special salute goes out to the alumni of KMC and fans of both sides. As you know, this evening's meeting is sanctioned by the Kansas State High School Activities Association. And the courts will face the Rule 52 and encourage your increased national support and encouragement for the student athletes of both teams. Remind everyone of the rules of the sportsmanship with athletes, cheerleaders, coaches, officials, and whatnot. We will thank you for your cooperation. At this time, we request that you please stand and remove your hats as we together give reverence and honor to the natural and holy prayer and nature. So lead us in our opening prayer. I'd like to welcome Woodstock ISC's Catholic School Superintendent, Janet.
In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Father in heaven, we ask your blessing on the game about to be played. Give each player the courage to play the game in the manner in which his words and his actions is pleasing to you. Let them enter into this competition in a spirit of sportsmanship and with the respect for the members of the opposing team. Father, bless the officials, coaches, and spectators. Keep us under your protection of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Please remain standing for the second round slam, held tonight by the Kapaun Bulls.
And welcome to Cape Mount Carmel Catholic High School, home of your Crusaders, where tonight we will see the Holy War, the second leg of the Holy War, I should add, as the Bishop Carroll Golden Eagles will face off against Cape and Mount Carmel.
And Gabe, you know, it is electric throughout this entire gym. Both sides going crazy, especially the student sections. They came to have fun, and they're going to be loud the entire game. So the energy in here is crazy, and it's a great atmosphere to play in.
And Sophia, I just want to add to that. I mean, even though Cape and student section is usually, pretty hectic, it's never this loud and this big for any game outside of the Holy War. And so we'll get right into it as Cape will have possession first here. And Sophia, can't talk about this starting lineup without number 21, Corbin Johnson, right now with the ball. And he kicks it over to Dominic Shibley, number 3. Now Johnson back, drives, and is fouled. And so remaining starters will be number 4 on your screen, Will Thingvall, number 0, Will Ancio, and of course number 22, Tegan Charles. And that'll be team foul number 1 on Carroll.
And Johnson getting his first one to go.
And so that gives Cape their first points of the game. Or point, I should say. As now Johnson with the top of the key kicks it to Shibley. Shibley drives and kicks up to Ancio. Ancio back to Johnson. Johnson with another move. This time no good. But now an unfriendly bounce, roll, I should say. Causes that one to miss. And now Carroll will finally have their first offensive possession.
And Carroll very aggressive on the defensive end, trying to apply a lot of pressure. However, Cape in that possession did a great job of getting their own offensive rebounds. So it's going to be crucial, throughout the continuation of the game for, either team to get those rebounds. That's, second and third chance shots that are very important.
So now Tegan Charles pick up his first personal foul.
And the starting 5 for Carroll, number 4, Josh Hauserman, number 12, Braxton Martin, number 14, Mikey Brand, number 15, Van Hainberg, and number 24, Braden Beasley.
So now Hauserman kicks it to Hamburg. Hamburg, no good. Rebound goes to Ancio. Now Johnson up to Charles. And Sophia, give me your 3 key aspects of tonight's game that you think are really going to influence the outcome.
I think obviously defense for either team. Defense is always a huge aspect of the game. Controlling the pace of the game is always very important. Whoever is in control of the pace of the game is going to be scoring more, dictating what the other team's going to do. And I'd say also just being aggressive. That's always something every player on the team can control. You can't always control if you're making shots or this or that, but being aggressive is huge.
Now Hauserman with that mid-range jumper. And now Will Thingvall able to prevent a turnover there for Capon, and it is fouled not long after. And Hauserman going to pick up his first personal foul. The team foul number 2 for Carroll.
And a nice little lob from Johnson to Thingvall in the inbound.
Bishop Carroll going to call a timeout. It is rather early for a timeout, Sophia. What do you think sparked that?
If you're, the coach and you're studying the film, you see that Capon likes to, at least try that little lob play in the inbounds. And so I think Carroll's coach maybe just a little bit upset about how easy that was for Capon to accomplish that thing, but just finishing with a nice touch. And those are things that players, they should be ready for. They've studied the film. They know how the other team plays, and that's something they can control and watch for.
And so here comes Carroll as Hauserman brings it up for the Eagles. And Sophia, Houseman, just a tremendous talent for Carroll so far here this season. What's something in his repertoire that you really like?
Yeah, I just think he's a really athletic guy. He sees the floor really well, and he's going to look to score, and that's something you like to see when you're a key player for Carroll. And speaking of scoring, Ancio there with a 2-point bucket. But as I was saying with Hauserman, he's going to look to score and do what he can do for his team.
And now Johnson with the steal, gets up the Thingvall. Will Thingvall goes up. That is good. And Sophia Kapaun really starting to get into the driver's seat here. As Mikey Brand, 3-point shot, no good. Rebounded by Will Thingvall. Will Thingvall is fouled. No.
It's like they're calling a travel on Thingvall as he fell down with the ball. However, from my view, Gabe, I saw there's some Carroll players underneath him, but you never know. You're not on the court, can't see that.
Exactly.
From that view.
I mean, beyond that, I feel like he would have gotten the ball off. But, regardless, it'll be Carroll ball. Still down by 8, however, so they're going to try to get something going on the offensive end here. And another turnover here for Carroll. And, Sophia, I hate to say it, the ball doesn't lie. So.
Yeah, it looks like a little miscue there.
And now, Tegan Charles puts that one up. That's good. A little teardrop shot. And Carroll really starting to look lost out there, Sophia. Just, coming out of the gates a little lethargic and a little out of sync, if I have to be completely honest. You see the new entry, Zach Stevens. And here, maybe he can give a spark to the offense. But that's another turnover now. Will Thingvall with another steal. And a little bit of contact there, but it looks like referee's going to hold his whistle.
And, the main thing I've seen from Kapaun so far that has gotten them this 10-point lead is they're running the ball. And that's something huge that we usually see from them. In the beginning of the game, they're going to run the ball, move quick-paced, try to get down the floor, and they've been doing a great job at that.
Now Will Thingvall, inside feed to Will Ancio. Ancio goes up. That is good. And Sophia, Ancio has always been a scorer, but we've never seen him take on the amount of scoring, of the scoring load, I should say, that he has these last, few games. He's just been key to Kapaun's, all-around success, but especially on the offensive end. As loose ball and jump ball going to be the ruling, and Carroll will have the favor of the possession arrow. But back to what I was saying, Ancio, Sophia, great footwork on the interior, great shot selection, just great all-around awareness of the paint. And so what do you see from him that you really like?
Yeah, I really agree. I think he does a great job of making himself present down low on the block. Getting his arms out, arms up high, and, being available for his guards to throw him the ball. And not only that, but he does a great job of getting rebounds, and that's where he gets a lot of his bunnies from, is just getting others rebounds and then finishing it off.
And there we go, as another ball ends up out of bounds. It's somebody off Carroll. And Sophia now Kapaun with a chance to have, a little bit more of a set-piece offense. So we'll see what they decide to do with that. Max Keller, who was just in the game, gets the rebound, dumps it over to Tegan Charles, who is fouled. So that'll be Carroll's third foul.
And it looks like Charles will be shooting.
And Sophia, something Kapaun has struggled with so far this season. Not struggled with, but maybe could improve on is their free throw percentage. And you see Charles misses first there. Kind of walk me through what it is, what it's like as a player to be at the free throw line. Is it more of a mental thing? Is it more of a, just routine? Or what do you think?
It's definitely, important to stay consistent with the routine. Most players have that down by now. It's just natural, but it is mental. You have to be, telling yourself, I'm going to make this shot. Kind of ignore all the outside factors, all the noise. And, towards the end of the game, fatigue really starts to set in, and that's when you really have to concentrate and use your legs.
Now Zach Stevens takes it up. And now ends up in the hands of Newell at top of the key. And Sophia, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a lot of motion in the Carroll offense, but it doesn't seem to be freeing anybody up. Kapaun doing a really great job of playing a strong defense. Is Newell able to get the basket there, but still, my point previously still stands.
Yeah,
So
I agree. It seemed like some of the players almost colliding with each other. That's never a good thing. You never want two offensive players in the same spot, and that does make it really easy for the defense.
And basket no good, but Keller able to get the rebound. Keller up top of the key to Powers. Now Powers over to Will Thingwall for three. That is good! And wow! Will Thingwall opening things up from beyond the arc. That gives him 7 points already here in this first quarter. Now Stevens gets it inside to Martin, and Martin unable to knock that one down as Powers gets the rebound. Now Dalian loses it. And it looks like that'll be a turnover for Kapaun.
Yeah, good hustle there, though. Dalian diving for the ball.
And now checking in, or back into the game, I should say, is Corbin Johnson. And checking into the game for Bishop Carroll is Isaac Walker.
And now, Carroll with a chance to kind of slow things down. They're letting Kapaun speed them up, and you can kind of see it still in their offense. They're trying to move fast-paced, but that kind of tends to make them make more mistakes, and so something that's been struggling for the Eagles.
And Sophia, technical handed out after a hard block there. Contran went up, and it looks like Keller and Powers were able to get the block, but now a technical going to be dished out to, I believe, Maxwell Keller.
You got to wonder if he maybe said something after the block or
Sophia,
what,
I hate to say it, but maybe it was his mannerisms after the block, maybe?
Potentially, yeah. There's a lot of things the refs can, see and think, oh, this might be a technical, and, they have the power to call that.
Well, regardless, it looks like John Hauserman going to be shooting for Carroll. Unable to hit the first. And now Hauserman on the second. That is good. And Carroll will retain possession as well. And so, Carroll was down by 12, Sophia. Only down by 11 now, but still with some momentum here.
Yeah, they have a chance here to, get a 2 or a 3, cut the lead, and get some momentum on their part.
Now Brand kicks a Tran. Now it's a Handberg. Handberg for 3. That is good. And so, Sophia, a solid sequence of events there for Carroll as they cut it within 8. And however, that foul will send Ancio to the line for 2 shots.
And Carroll already with 4 fouls, and it's not even the end of the first quarter. Gabe, what do you think they're going to need to do to, kind of limit how they're fouling? What can they do?
I think it's definitely going to be hard for them because Kapaun has shown the ability to shoot from beyond the arc, but a lot of their points and a lot of their production comes from inside the paint, so they're going to be driving a lot. And Ancio in particular, just as we've already mentioned, just a tremendous threat and presence inside the paint, so it's going to be hard to guard him without fouling. But honestly, it's just going to come down to playing smart defense. I'm not going to suggest they play conservatively, but it's definitely going to come down to making sure to be aware of their body and be aware of just who you're defending and what's happening.
Exactly.
Now Hauserman loses it, gets it back, and takes it to the rack. Now Johnson gets it to Powers. Powers to Shibley. Shibley to Thingwall. Will Thingwall to Johnson.
Now Kapaun, kind of taking their time, setting up some offense.
And now, after Dalian's missed shot, Handberg there on the rebound. Now, just over 20 seconds left to go as Reese Peterson misses it, but Hamburg with a hard swipe there, able to get the ball and dumps that in for 2 points. Sophia, that's a hard motion to master there. Usually, you see someone swipe downward, that's almost usually always called a foul.
Yeah.
But still great awareness by Hamburg. And that will bring us to the end of the first quarter. Solid run there by Carroll to end the first quarter, Sophia, but Kapaun definitely still in the front seat.
Yeah, Carroll definitely at the end here, that technical foul helped there. And so, they got some momentum and they use that to their advantage. And that's what you got to do. When you have an opportunity like that, you have to use it the best you can. And so, they're cutting the lead. Kapaun's lead to 6. Kind of slowed down Kapaun from their momentum and what they had going.
And Sophia, give me a synopsis of what Kapaun has done so well here in the first quarter.
Yeah, so Kapaun, as I mentioned, in the beginning of the game, they are running the ball really well. They're trying to get down the floor, get those easy layups, fast break layups. And they're also doing, one of the things I love about this team is they will go and get rebounds. They're very aggressive about rebounding. I know that's something Coach Eck, emphasizes, and as any coach should, getting rebounds is really important on the defense and the offensive end.
And now Tegan Charles. Charles intercepted. As now Hauserman comes up with the loose ball. Kicks it to Reese Peterson. Reese Peterson unable to get a shot off. Great recovery defense by Kapaun. Now Hamburg with an open 3. He's able to knock that one down. So now, Sophia, we talked about how Kapaun up by 12. Now that we just cut to 3 points.
Yeah, and you got it. Kapaun trying to be aggressive on the defensive end. It looks like they just lost Hamburg there. And, Hamburg, he's going to shoot. He's a good shooter, quick little guard. And so, yeah, that's something Carroll, doing a great job of, kind of slapping Kapaun in the face in the beginning of this quarter. And Kapaun just wasn't ready for it. Regardless, Crusaders still up by 3. Come out of this timeout, with a little pep talk from Coach Eck and get some things going here.
And so here we go as Johnson brings it up the court for Kapaun. And Sophia, we just got them talking about Kapaun, but what has Carroll done so well that's brought them back into this game?
Yeah, just right there, being aggressive. That's one of the 3 key things I mentioned in the beginning is that, they're just being aggressive. They're playing with a lot of energy. They have that spark of energy, and they're ready to go. And they're trying to find the open guy. None of them are being, selfish right now. And so trying to get good shots.
A little bit of a heat check there from Van Hamburg as his shot is unable to go in. Now on the other end, Hauserman picks up another foul. The 5th team foul for Carroll. And Sophia, you mentioned how Carroll should be concerned with 4 fouls. Now 5 fouls with just a minute gone in the second quarter. Excuse me. I should probably know what quarter is going on, but regardless, it'll be Kapaun basketball. But Sophia, speak a little bit more to just Carroll in this position where 2 more fouls and Kapaun's into the bones.
Yeah, I understand on the defensive end they're trying to be really aggressive, but you got to be careful, with those hand checks and not slapping at arms or anything like that. So they do need to be careful and not give away any silly fouls, because that's how Kapaun will get to the free throw line, and Crusaders looking to score those free throws if that does happen.
And there's another foul, and Sophia, that's probably the worst situation to give up a foul there. That's just the open court. It doesn't have too much of a repercussion, but all it does is add another tick to that foul count. And so now Kapaun, or Carroll on the verge of putting Kapaun into the bones, I should say. And so Sophia, you got to imagine that Kapaun is definitely going to be looking to drive a little bit more and try to pick up that 7th foul.
Yeah, that's just smart basketball. They're trying to pick up that foul. And it just puts a lot more pressure on Carroll's defense to, kind of be careful.
And you see it there. I mean, Carroll is definitely in a position where they're a little bit more cautious, and you see how it affects them there. I mean, Tegan Charles in the paint, nobody near him. I mean, those two things should not be said in the same sentence, Sophia. Just the fact that he's wide open in the paint. And, well, there again, Corbin Johnson wide open in the paint in transition, able to knock down the layup.
Great pass by Thingol there.
But regardless, Kapaun reestablishing a lead. Still not as dominant as the one they had earlier, but regardless, a lead is a lead. And another hard hit there, this time on a screen. And now it looks like that will be team foul number 7. However, it is an offensive foul, so we will not see free throws quite yet. Zach Stevens and number 5, Isaac Lager, check in for Carroll. So yeah, now Sophia, now we are in a situation where Carroll has put Kapaun into the bonus. And so in a situation where you're trying to come back into a game, that's really difficult to work around.
Yeah, and Kapaun, they're going to be aggressive. They are aggressive on offense, and now they're going to be even more aggressive there as Johnson will get 3 free throws as, Steven gets him on the three-pointer.
And now 8 team fouls with over 5 minutes left to play in the half. Sophia, I mean, you hate to say it, but Carroll in, a position to maybe put Kapaun into the double bonus, and just, probably should stop focusing in on the fact how quickly Carroll is picking up fouls, but still something to mention nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, getting in that double bonus it's hard, and it stops the slows the pace of the game, stops the clock, and that's hard for any team. Especially if you're on the losing end, to get that momentum back and get into the rhythm of the game.
Now Newell will check in favor of Colin Tran. And so now Johnson able to convert on his first 2 free throw attempts, see if he can knock down the third. And this one not able to go. And so now we see Stevens bring it up the court for Carroll. And Hamburg taking his time with it. Reverses his court. And finally takes it to Newell. Now back to Lager on the crest. And Sophia, we talked about how Carroll with a lot of movement but not too much openness. And wow, a lot of contact there but no whistle. But here's a call for a travel. Carroll, excuse me. They're trying to move the ball, and obviously that's a great goal for an offense to have move the ball, swing it side to side. But yeah, they're doing a lot of. It almost seems like pointless motion that's causing them a little bit of struggle. And if they want to get some good points, you got to get to the lane. You got to get the ball touching the lane. It seems just a little clogged up in there. And now Steven gets to the Hamburg. And Sophia, Carroll really starting to struggle a little bit more here. They get a turnover, but really just looking unorganized right now. Newell with his third three-point attempt, and he makes that one. And so, Sophia, I mean, I can sit up here and say Carroll looks unorganized all I want. Regardless, they're still in this game, down by 6 points. So Kapaun can't take any possession for granted. And Sophia, I have to admit, in the second quarter, second half of the first quarter and now into the second quarter, I'm impressed with Carroll's defense. They've been able to limit Kapaun's offense just a little bit to the point where they're able to stay in this game.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, they're continuing to be aggressive on that defensive end, playing smart defense, good man-to-man. And so that has been a contributing force to, Kapaun not scoring a ton of points in this quarter. Over Charles with a chance to change that here as he's at the line for 2.
First one is good. And now Charles able to knock down second as well. Now Peterson. It's a Hauserman. And now stolen by Charles. Charles in transition, unable to get that one to go. And now Powers fouled on his way up, and Sophia, that puts Kapaun into the double bonus.
Yeah, and great job by Powers being there. It's always smart to follow, your guy down the court if they're on a fast break. You never know what's going to happen at the basket, and so Powers getting the rebound and then, drawing the foul. Great job by him.
Powers unable to knock down the first. And now second one no good as well.
And Beasley getting the rebound there.
And Sophia Beasley, in addition to the Carroll starting lineup that we didn't quite expect, and he's been a great contributor off the bench, but typically Reese Peterson, number 2, typically takes that starting role. What have you seen from Beasley here tonight that kind of impresses you?
Yeah, it must be his aggressiveness. He's doing a great job. Being aggressive. He isn't afraid, get dirty, get on the floor, anything like that, get those rebounds. And, those are the kind of guys you want on the floor. Someone who's going to go for all those loose balls and be aggressive.
And nice basket there by Brand. Cuts the lead back to 6, Sophia. And so, as much as it might seem Kapaun is in control of this game, they aren't quite able to pull away enough to put Carroll away.
Yeah, that is very true, and seem to be, maybe just struggling a little bit on the offensive end, but great job by Keller there, getting that rebound. But yeah, it's hard when you first quarter had a lot of fast breaks, getting those easy buckets, throwing the ball down the court. But Carroll kind of limiting that, and so, yeah, Kapaun up by 8.
And now referee going to call a foul here. No shot. It'll be on the floor. And Newell will head in now for Mikey Brandt. Now Pearson inbound. Gets into Martin. Martin working in the post against Shibley, able to knock down that shot. And there it is again, Sophia. This 6-point lead is definitely, what you can call a deadlock right now. And so it's really going to be interesting to see if Carroll is able to pull closer, or if Kapaun is finally able to, retain regain and retain their 12-point lead they had in the first quarter.
Yeah, I agree. And, that's the main thing. When you start, great job by Sugar there. But as I was saying, when you start, down, Carroll's down by, 12 early in the game. Just like holding a lead like 8 is good, and just trying to stay in it, not letting Kapaun extend that lead, 20 or so, has been a good job by them.
Nice move by Keller, and that is good. And so now Kapaun with the 10-point lead would definitely like to head into the half with that. And so one more solid defensive possession here could potentially send them into the half with that double-digit lead. And now Peterson sizes up the defense. And now Carroll just trying to take their time, methodically moving the ball. They get it inside. That's Beasley. And no good on the shot. Now Kapaun with just under 20 seconds to play with here. Let's see what happens. Keller, open three. That is good. And so here come the Eagles, now playing with just under 10 seconds. And now Hamburg loses it, gets it to Peterson. Peterson, back to Hamburg. And the time will expire without the Eagles getting a shot off.
And great defense there by the Crusaders, staying solid with, obviously, Eagles trying to get that last shot, and they did a good job stopping them.
And so now Kapaun will head into the locker room to score of 37 to 24, if I can say my numbers correctly, but regardless, Kapaun heading into the half with a 13-point lead. And so we will step aside now for your halftime entertainment. And Sophia, great game. Very excited to see what the second half holds. Hello and welcome back to the second half of action in the KMC basketball versus KMC versus Carroll basketball game. And I am joined here by the one and only Tori Pedruzzi of Mount Carmel. And so, Tori, what's it like being a Carroll student?
Well, I have to say that it's nothing less than great, honestly. I couldn't ask to go to a better school, you know. Basketball-wise, we have been struggling a little bit this year, but honestly, only thing that's next is comeback season, if I'm being totally honest.
I mean, down by 13, it's looking a little bleak, but definitely not out of range. And so, what have you seen so far here tonight from the Eagles?
I've seen nothing but fight. We're definitely out for blood. We've had a few mistakes, but I think our recovery is good. I think our main key is we need to rebound. Y'all got a little bit of height on us, so I think that's our biggest struggle.
I mean, Will Anstey in the paint has been absolutely lethal here tonight. I mean, you guys obviously have Newell. He's hit a 3 already. He's been pretty dominant on the defensive end. But you're also a dancer yourself, so what do you think about the KMC Palmies performance?
You know what? As Sophie Fagenberg being the former Carroll coach, I was very, very skeptical, but I would say they knocked it out of the park. It was very, very good. I am not going to sugarcoat that at all. It was just technically flawless, and I think they did amazing.
There you go. Well, Tori, what else do you have to add?
I mean, hey, we'll see who wins tonight, but no matter what, 24 years in football, let's not forget that.
Okay. Wow, y'all. You know, I let you come on here. You're just going to do that to us?
I had to. Come on now.
Okay, well, it's been great having you on, and always great to have, a great personality from Carroll.
Yeah,
so
thank you, Gabe.
Good to see you. Hello and welcome back to the second half of the Holy War. And we'll get right back to it as Carroll will have possession first here. And Sophia, give a quick synopsis of what you were seeing.
So, Carroll cutting the lead to 6, middle of the second quarter, and now Kapaun had a great run at the end of that half. Now up 13. So we've seen it from Carroll before. They're able to, cut that lead down. It's just getting, playing consistent. Obviously, they were in a little bit of foul trouble in the first half. And I think just playing aggressive, trying to run some offense, but not be chaotic. We're seeing that a little bit. 2 guys in the same place at once. But just getting good shots off is what Carroll is looking to do.
Exactly right, Sophia. And I think a key for Carroll to come back in this game is going to be driving the ball. You saw Kapaun do it a lot, and they drew a lot of fouls. I mean, Carroll had 10 team fouls in the first half. And already Kapaun coming out swinging with a made 3-point shot. But Sophia, I'm going to stick by that. I think Carroll's best interest is going to be just driving the basket as much as possible, putting themselves in a position where they force the ref to blow his whistle and get them to the line as much as possible.
Exactly right, Gabe.
And now Handberg looking to respond with a 3-point shot. That's no good. Fight for the rebound ends up in the hands of Will Thingvall. Will Thingvall pushing it up the court up to Corbin Johnson. Corbin Johnson slows things down and allows the offense to develop a little bit here, and then pulls up for 3. That is no good. Rebounded by Mikey Brand. And so now Brand brings it up. And Sophia, something I really admire about Carroll is, when their stars are out there, there isn't really a set role for everyone out on the court. It's a lot more of a positionless system, and that's something I really admire in a team. Is there anything?
I definitely agree. I mean, all of the players are capable of basically doing everything, and that makes it hard for any team they're playing against. For the defense. You never know what the guy in front of you is going to be able to do next. So that is a great threat that the Golden Eagles have.
And now we get right back into it now. Hamburg gets to the Hauserman. And now a deep three from Mikey Brand. That is good. And Sophia, definitely a gutsy shot there by Brand, but it goes down. What do you think about those kind of shots where, maybe not the most ideal shot, but when you have a player that's confident, they're more than willing to take it?
Yeah, Carroll, running some offense, for a little bit of time. They had a pretty solid possession, and, Brand there, if he's feeling confident, he might as well shoot the ball. Sometimes it is risky, but, is the risk worth the reward? And there it was.
And now, whistle blown. Now we'll send Will Thingvall to the line after he gets fouled on his putback there. And, overall, Sophia, I feel like the refs have done a great job here tonight. They're letting both sides play pretty physical, not calling their fouls too tight. That being said, I think they've called a very equal and fair match as well.
Yeah, I agree. These refs have been great, and playing in the previous game, I was happy with them doing a great job and being fair.
And now Hauserman gets it over to Brand. Brand, another deep three, and that is good. Wow, Sophia.
Brand really feeling it. Making one of those deep threes gives you confidence, so he's like, why not take another one? And he makes it, so
exactly
great job by him hitting it down.
And another steal by Brand here. And Sophia, Brand's last three cut it to 11 points. And now that shot cuts it to just 9. Brings it within single digits. And Sophia, no matter what the score has been, Kapaun has had an issue really trying to put Carroll away and trying to pull away from Carroll altogether.
Yeah, and those are really tough games. When you have the lead and, you're feeling comfortable, but at the end of the day, a team like Carroll, you cannot get comfortable with them. They're ready, full throttle to go in, look to score, make those shots, be aggressive. And so the Crusaders can't back down at all. They got to keep pushing and trying to extend this lead.
And now, after the timeout, Kapaun will have 3 remaining. And so now we'll get right back into it as Powers brings it up for KMC. Kicks it over to Shibley. And Sophia, Shibley, a really crucial player in this offense. What do you see in him?
Yeah, he's smart. He knows how to run the offense. He knows what his role is. He knows what he's got to do. And when he has those opportunities to score, and he sees how he can get open, get to the bucket, he's going to do that, and that's great. He has great awareness of what's going on in the game. And so, yeah, Shibley, a key contributor to this team.
And so able to knock down his first shot. And that gives Ancio 7, just behind Will Thingvall, who leads the team in scoring with 8 points. And there, Ancio able to tie it all up. And Sophia, what really stands out to you about Tegan Charles, number 22?
Yeah, he is great. Very lengthy guy. Can move really well down the floor, and he has great footwork. We kind of talked earlier this season when Ancio was hurt. Charles kind of stepping into that post role, and his footwork absolutely amazing. And so he's a very versatile player. He's going to look to score, and he's also very aggressive on the defensive team, or defensive end. All you could ask for in a player.
And now Powers. Deep three. That is good. Extends the lead back up to 10. And Powers, I keep asking you about players. I want to take a quick second to talk about Brooks Powers. Just a absolutely great source of offense off the bench. Real great, source of just creative play style. He's a great defensive player. There's a lot of effort on defensive end. But overall, I think he's just a great creative player, and has the ability to really, just take over the game at times, and really can be a pivotal aspect of any game. So, it's a timeout going to be called here. This time it's going to be Carroll. They will have 3 remaining. And Sophia still caping up by 10. And so, what do you expect from them in these final 2 quarters?
Yeah, and so Kapaun, it's been kind of tough for them, just starting out with that lead, kind of jumping as Carroll was a little lethargic in the beginning of the game, and kind of that same difference has stayed the same throughout. So you could say, since like the first 2 minutes of the game, Carroll has been sticking around with Kapaun, and so Kapaun, they gotta find a way, to just extend the lead, and they're definitely capable of that. It's just doing the little things first, being very aggressive on defense, getting those rebounds, and then getting good shots on the offensive end. A lot easier said than done, but the Crusaders, a very capable team of doing that.
And now KMC picks up another foul. Team foul number 3 for KMC. Now Beasley. Unable to get that one to go. Loose rebound ends up in the hands of Reese Peterson. Now another deep 3 from Brand. This time it's going to be well short and out of bounds. And Sophia, looks like the hot streak from 3 with Brand is no longer. And,
Yeah, chances of making, 3 for 3 of those, long shots, not very high.
And now Ancio there on the basket. And now Peterson gets over to Beasley. Beasley back to Peterson. Peterson looks around, finds Brand. Brand loses it. That's Antu who gets the steal and forces it off the foot of Brandon out of bounds. It will be Crusader basketball.
And Brand, he's really trying to be aggressive here. He's coming off, but he's trying to be an offensive threat, and that's great for him. But there comes a point where you don't want to be forcing things. Kapaun knows that Brand is wanting to look to score, and so they're going to put a little bit more focus on him. So when he starts to force things, that kind of isn't great for their offense as a whole.
And there's Anstey with another basket. And Sophia, we talked about how Kapaun really looking to pull away here. That's 2 straight defensive stops that led to 2 different baskets on the other end. And so Kapaun's lead now up to 14. Now with a whistle blown. And a great block, but we'll see what referee says here. No, he will say a goaltend. That's why I thought he might have said, but the motion there, the motion there from the referee was a little bit confusing.
Yeah, I agree. I thought maybe a technical was called as well, but all good. They're just a goaltending.
And now Tran has it on the other end. We see Kapaun pressing a little bit here. Not something we typically see, but maybe just, an attempt to cause a little bit more pressure on Carroll.
It looks like a foul is going to be called.
Be Kapaun's 4th. And that sends Braxton Martin to the line for 2 shots. First one up and good.
In the first half game, we were talking about how Carroll was in a little bit of foul trouble, and they had to be careful. And now Kapaun with 4. Still 2 minutes left in the third quarter, but that's something they kind of need to keep an eye on. Don't want to be sending the Golden Eagles to the line.
And Sophia, nice little look for Ancio.
Kapaun running some really good offense there. A nice little roll there by Ancio. Gets himself an easy bucket.
And here comes Carroll. And it looks like out of bounds off of the thing ball. And you see Kapaun playing a little bit looser here, a little bit more energy.
Yeah.
And I think that's something you really want to see as we enter the final quarter, or prepare to enter the final quarter. And now some substitutions as Nathan Wagging enters the game for Kapaun.
And it looks like Wagging going to be called for moving screen, I believe.
That gives him his first personal foul. And Sophia, another nice feed from Brand. And now another foul going to be called. Now Kapaun. We talked about Carroll in the first half being on the edge of sending Kapaun in the bonus. Now Kapaun with 6 fouls. Or Carroll sending Kapaun.
Yeah.
But regardless, Kapaun on the edge of sending Carroll into the bonus with their 6th team foul.
And, and Dalian, they're, trying to get a block, and that's totally understandable. Sometimes it's hard to control where your body goes, and looks like it got him there with the body. But, Kapaun just need to be cautious of getting those, fouls.
And now here comes Powers. Powers over the thing ball. Now Dalian over to Wigging. Wigging looks around, trying to survey the defense. Nearly is picked off, but gets to the Powers. Powers over the corner. That's thing ball. Nice rebound by Dalian. Goes around Stevens with his dribble.
Nice pass by Dalian.
Woo! Some nice offense there. And now a man down. That's Will Thingvall. He looks like he's okay.
Yeah, he's smiling.
It's on Zach Steven. Hauserman with the interception there. Is now pickpocketed by Will Thingvall. Will Thingvall then fouled on the shot. And that gives Hauserman his 4th personal foul, Sophia.
Yeah, we saw him go out of the game early with foul trouble in the first half. And so, tough for, Golden Eagles key player Hauserman with 4. That's, kind of hard for their team when you lose a player like that.
And so now Thingvall. And Sophia, Thingvall and Hauserman, pretty good friends.
Yeah.
And so interesting to see that dynamic play out here tonight. But regardless, Sophia, I think we're finally starting to see Kapaun pull away a little bit here, up by 19.
And, the main thing I've seen from Kapaun in doing that is just bringing a lot of energy. You kind of talked about it a little bit. They're just ready to play. They got a little bit of spark and, just being aggressive. But now it looks like they're going to send Carroll to the line for a 1-1.
So we just got done talking about how Kapaun on the verge of sending Carroll into the bonus. Now that has already happened. And so Carroll will enter the final quarter of play in the bonus already. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Now Powers racing up the court. Just under 5 seconds now. Now it's going to say, referee says, looks like foul will be called. And so now Crusaders will have 4.6 seconds to inbound to get a shot off.
Probably have a little, set play here. Where, they're just going to. Dayball trying to get the 3 off there.
Not going to work.
Good.
Not going to work there. As now we will end the final quarter of play with Kapaun up 56-37, Sophia. So Kapaun definitely in the driver's seat now with the commanding lead. If you're Kapaun, what's your mindset?
Yeah, I mean, they just got to keep it up. That's all they got to do. They got, whole gym behind them with a ton of energy. They're bringing energy amongst themselves, and so just keep doing what they're doing. Don't fall back into complacency or anything like that, because at this point they have opportunity to work on some things, whatever Coach Eck is wanting them to work on, and so they just got to keep playing hard and having fun out there.
So Sophia, if you're Carroll, vice versa, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, there's still a whole quarter of play left, and being down by 19, the first thing they got to focus on is, cutting it to 15 and 10. There's no 19-point basket, and so they have to do little things. You see they're trying to up the pressure on the defensive end, try to get steals like that one right there. And then they got to have some urgency and be prepared to score quickly.
It's nice to see Hauserman loses it, and you got to think, where was he looking there, Sophia? Wow, now Will Thingball in the open court, unable to get the layup to go. Now the putback good for Mancio. And man, Sophia, Kapaun now up by 21 points. A nice save there by Brooks Powers, and Nathan Waking there going to be fouled by Van Hanberg. That'll be Hamburg's 4th.
So now Waking at the line, looking to score his first points tonight.
And now Kapaun in the bonus. So we kept talking about Kapaun had just put Carroll in the bonus, but those last 3 fouls at the end of the third quarter then puts Kapaun in the same situation. So now Nathan Waking able to convert on his first attempt there. And second attempt no good, as Carroll heads their way with it. Now Powers steal. Nice pass to Will Thingball, and layup no good, but Ancio there on the putback once again. Gives Ancio 18 points.
And, you got to give credit to, Will Thingball running down the court, and then Ancio being, follower there. They have great chemistry. They're doing a great job.
Now Hauserman drives, kicks out to Beasley. Beasley, nice move. He's going to be fouled on his way up. That'll be Kapaun's 8th team foul. And so now we'll see Beasley misses first.
Now Keller coming in for Thingball. That one is good.
And so now here comes Keller, top of the key. Kicks out to Dalian. Dalian. Intercepted by Hanberg. Hanberg racing the court. Way up good.
Carroll's trying to apply a little bit of a press.
And another foul going to be called, this time on Carroll. Their 8th team foul as well. And now Ancio with the opportunity to get his 20th point here tonight, Sophia. And you got to be thinking, this is a big moment for him, you know?
Yeah.
Last time facing Carroll potentially.
Exactly.
So Ancio's first attempt, good. And you know, Sophia, I got a chance to talk to Ancio earlier today. And, you know, I had the question of, you know, you're going to go out there with a little bit more animosity, a little bit more effort here tonight just because it's your last time facing that team on the west side. And he said, all I care about is a win. And so I think that really just shows how selfless of a player he is and just how much he cares about his team.
Yeah, and you got to notice, majority of the points Ancio has is by being that selfless type of player. I mean, he's there for his team. He's there to, you know, clean up, get those rebounds, get those putbacks. And so that's something you got to love to see in a player.
Now a hard-fought rebound from Powers. And a nice little sequence there from Ancio. Back to, looks like Keller. And foul will be called on Lager. That'll be his 3rd personal foul. The 9th team foul for Carroll. So now here comes Keller. Already has 7 on the night, that's his 8th. So now Ancio checks out of the game with 20 points. And I doubt his services will be needed any longer as Kapaun now with a 24-point lead. So Sophia, what are your thoughts on the game right now?
Yeah, I mean, Kapaun just really taking it and running with it. And I know that's exactly what Coach Eck wanted them to do. They let the Golden Eagles stay in it, longer than a lot of us expected. But now, game's really fun to watch. Kapaun is putting on a show out there.
So now Hamburg, deep 3, that's no good. And Sophia, really, I think the Eagles just kind of lost out there, really just trying anything and everything to maybe get some points on the board. And a nice move from Powers in, and that is good enough for another basket. And man, Sophia, this is getting out of hand quick.
Yeah, I mean, Carroll, just being sloppy with the ball. They're trying to score, trying to get those shots quickly. Not really falling, but it's hard with the deficit this large.
And now Brand able to knock another one down. Brand with 14 points on the night, Sophia leads Carroll in scoring.
Yeah, and Brand, he's trying to do what he can. You can see they're being aggressive. Trying to get, got that steal there. Unable to convert, however, he's going to keep fighting. But now substitutions for the Golden Eagles.
A massive substitution for the Golden Eagles. An entirely new starting five, or not starting five, but entirely new 5 on the floor. As Newell, Steven, Tran, Reese Peterson, and what looks to be like Andrew Eustace. The likes of Andrew Eustace, I should say. Now we see Charles fouled on his way up. That'll be 2 shots.
And, one of the great things I love about Charles is he can recognize when he's about to get fouled. He has a really quick release, getting that shot off quickly. And so, great job by him for recognizing that and getting himself to the free throw line.
Exactly right. He's able to hit his first shot here. Gives him 10 points on the evening. Now, Charles unable to hit the second shot. And then here come the Eagles. Tran finds Newell. Newell out to Peterson. Now to Eustace. Eustace to Tran. Now train back to Stevens. And you see Carroll really just looking lost out there as that one goes into the hallway. And so, I gotta say, this is not the typical Carroll that I remember seeing, in our earlier years at Kapaun.
Yeah, I agree. Usually, much more competitive team than this. I guess there's, certain eras for teams and schools in each sport.
And we can't go without mentioning Nathan Dingwall checks into the game for KMC. And now Brooks Powers with another layup. That gives him 7 points on the evening and pushes Kapaun up to that 70-point mark, Sophia. And now Stevens steps out of bounds. No.
Looks like it'll be Carroll's ball.
Maybe the ball touched out of bounds prior to Stevens grasping at it, but Gross Newell able to hit that one to go. And Brooks Powers gets it to Nathan Dingwall. Nathan Dingwall over to Shibley. Shibley inside to Charles. Charles blocked by Eustace.
And the one thing about getting blocked, most of the time it ends up being the ball. And so Kapaun now going to have it for an inbound play. Let's see what they can do here.
Now Powers into Dingwall. Dingwall, no on the nice little play there. And you see Peterson try to get a Tran. Now foul going to be called. And we on Maxwell Keller.
Now,
excuse me, on Brooks Powers.
Full sub exchange coming from Kapaun. Rocco Keller, Paul Bloomer, Peyton Gosh, Kyle Kea, and Corey Daniels.
Ah, man. Sophia, I never thought that, when we came to Kapaun that we would ever see Kapaun beat Carroll by this amount.
Yeah, absolutely huge. And then great to have these, younger guys be able to come in and play. It's not every day you get to play your West Side rivals, and so great for these young guys, get a feeling of this atmosphere and enjoy the game.
And now, here comes Kapaun, as Keller takes it over to Gosh, now over to Kea, now to Daniels. Back to Kea. And now a nice mid-range jumper from Rocco Keller falls.
And Rocco Keller, the freshman brother of Maxwell Keller, got some size to him. He's going to grow into a pretty good player.
I have to agree with you there, Sophia. And now, foul going to be called on Carroll. The offensive foul. And so now here comes Daniels for KMC. Gets to Keller. Now Keller, no good. Rebound goes to Bloomer. Bloomer blocked. Now Eustace has it for the Golden Eagles. And Eustace will be fouled on his way to the rim.
Looks like he took a hard fall there.
And that will give Kapaun their 10th team foul of the evening. So now Eustace to shoot two. First one good.
And now checking in for the Crusaders, number 2, Charlie Barrier, and number 11, Owen Herlocker. And Kea and Gosh will head to the bench.
Eustace's second shot good as well. Now Daniels inside the Bloomer. Paul, big board Bloomer, kicks it out to Barrier. Now back to Bloomer. Bloomer shot good.
And the crowd goes wild. Fan favorite, Paul Big Bird Bloomer, and making that nice little jump shot there. And props to Barrier for a nice assist.
Now Tran. He's up to Newell. Newell for three. That's no good. Now tipped out of bounds by Tran. It'll be Crusader basketball. Up to Owen Herwalker, Herwalker. Out to Daniels. Daniels to Gosh. Gosh. Way up, no good. Barely rolls out there. Nice pass inside to Tran. That's no good though. Great defense there by Kyle Kea. Now Barrier will bring it up for the Crusaders. Barrier out to Gosh. Gosh. Intercepted by Eustace. And now be out of bounds. Doesn't look like Zach Steven could get there.
And 16.1 seconds remaining. Kapaun 74, Carroll 48.
Now Daniels. Daniels, step back three.
Oh,
No good. And now Zach Steven, 1 second, puts up a shot, but that will not count.
and Kapaun Crusaders win over Carroll Golden Eagles. Kapaun 74, Carroll 48. Thank you for tuning in.
Exactly right. It's a sweet one for those in blue and white. So thank you for tuning in. We will have one more broadcast prior to the playoffs, and that will be senior night. Not this week, but the following week, and so hopefully you can join us for that. But Sophia, final score here, 74-48. Always good broadcasting with you, and as always, we thank all you watching, and always great to get a win over Carroll in the Holy War. And with that, I've been Gabe Breidenbach.
I'm Sophia Jamino. Have a great night.